Heights, beach salad, reaching heights, beach salad with the works.
I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, thirsty from the sea, so happy now. I've been playing in the park like children chasing bugs, clumping through the clover field, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning as it's way, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heavens, what a pretty face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, thirsty from the sea, so happy now. I've been playing in the park like children chasing birds, clumping through the clover, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning as a tree, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heavens, what a pretty face, beautiful. face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the spray, bursting from the seesaw, laughing out. I've been playing in the park like children chasing birds, walking through the cornfield, sing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning after twilight, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. I've been bouncing on the sea, spinning in the sway, thirsty from the seesaw, happy now. I've been playing in the park, like children chasing birds, walking through the cornfield, singing along. I've been dancing in the dew, morning after twilight, sweeping out the cellar space. Everybody, I've met a woman in the haze, I don't recall her name, but heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. Heaven's got a pretty face, beautiful. Pretty face, beautiful. She got run away, we got no time to play, but she never will pass up the light. She's as broke as a ghost, she makes great butter toast, and she's been before she end up a wife. The illusion of grace, like a whip made of lace, flashes faintly as fire from her face. She will buy you a drink with a belch and a wink, and she'll curse when she shows you her place. The tattoo on her thigh is a fist in an eye, and she tells me the one and the same. I'm a dime, she's a switch, but her mom is a bitch, and I'm forbidden from using her name. She wants hugs, drugs, and rock and roll. 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 Met a friend from the Bay, he's as straight as he can, on a window take off for the show. But she'll ruin the day if she can't get away. It's the pity and party world tour. She wants hugs, drugs, and rock and roll. She wants hugs, drugs, and rock and roll.
Well, they told me when I was young that my fears wouldn't fade, and the man that I made would cascade. I'm afraid the concern was mislaid. But if everything they say comes true, there's not much good that luck will do. I need the strength to get me through.
She's the stars in the range when she takes to the stage, 'cause she reps and she struts like a queen. There'll be blood in the streets, there'll be butts in the seats, 'cause they'll all pay to see her on the screen. She wants hugs, drugs, and rock and roll. 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 Miss the last train on the red line. 'Cause in the metal monster as it
folks. Thank you for joining us on the Quisition, a battle of wits, the game where you can try to outthink members of Philadelphia's premier comedy troupe, the N Crowd. My name is Mike, and I'll be your quizmaster tonight. If you want to play along at home, a pen and paper might come in handy, as would a pair of shin guards and a few drunken hooligans, because this is our football episode. Now, let's go to our scorekeeper. He's well renowned for his infinite integrity and boundless sagacity. It is Vegas the Incorruptible. How you doing tonight, Vegas?
I'm kicking it.
Oh, a little soccer pun. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
How
that's
about
right.
that?
On this date in 1930, FIFA held its first ever World Cup final, with Uruguay being crowned champions. In honor of the world's most popular sport, tonight's episode is going to be all about soccer, or as they call it everywhere that is in America, football. So I thought we'd start with 3 facts, Vegas.
Do it.
All right. It's 3 facts about football. Fact number 1. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was not only the creator of Sherlock Holmes, he was also the founder and goalkeeper for the Portsmouth Football Club. The game was afoot. Come on.
Goal!
It's great.
When we're starting the show with jokes of that caliber,
It's awesome.
it can only go up.
So yeah, all our fans here for the Sherlock Holmes jokes. Absolutely.
All right, it only gets better from here because this is fact number 2. Soccer is so popular in South America that if you asked how many soccer fans there are, I'd estimate like a Brazilian.
How do you expect us to follow this, Mike?
Well, here it is. Fact number 3. Soccer spread throughout the globe largely due to British sailors, as did syphilis. All right. Let's meet our contestants. Up first, we have Marcely.
Hello.
Whoa. I thought you would turn into a hand.
The worst part of your body for playing football.
Yeah. Unless you're a keeper.
Yeah.
Which is a goalie.
Marcely, tell us, you got some podcasts going on out there that I think a lot of people are going to want to listen to. Tell us about Locking Up and Oh Snap.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people would want to listen to him, but yeah, Locking Up is a pro wrestling podcast with me, James Knight, and Keen Cobb, and it's a lot of fun. And also, Oh Snap is a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast where we break down each of the MCU TV shows that are on Disney Plus, and as well as the movies that come out. So yeah, there's a whole lot of content to review, and we will remain busy for a long ass time because Marvel just doesn't stop.
Yeah, they give you something every week now.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Well, to spoilers to anybody who didn't see the Avengers movie, that's a good title.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it now, then like whatever.
I just saw it like a month ago, maybe. So I'm
Wow.
I
We're the
get
last
so many-
person to see it.
Yeah, and you're throwing out spoilers. Some nerve.
I get so many more cultural references now. Like I'll be like, oh, that's why Jimmy Fallon said that. All right, well, let's bring out our second contestant. It's BJ.
Ole, 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 ole. It's me.
All right, very, very football intro there,
That's all I
B.
know about soccer.
BJ, you are about to celebrate a special anniversary, a 1-year anniversary. Is that right?
I am. My stunt double and life partner, Colt Sebastian Taylor, has a show called The Saturday Report with Colt Sebastian Taylor on AWSM Radio, and not tomorrow, but next Saturday is the 1-year anniversary of his first broadcast. It's about a 45-minute show where he reviews interesting news stories throughout the week. Tomorrow he'll be talking about some guy in LA has a jetpack. It's been flying around the airport since October every once in a while. And they can't catch the guy. Yeah, like 5,000 feet in the air, buzzing planes at about 50 feet from the plane. So, and it's a guy with a jetpack. So I like to cover those sort of stories and whatnot.
And BJ, for people who don't know, looks and sounds exactly like Colt Sebastian Taylor.
Yeah, but whereas on here I wear a fedora, Colt Sebastian Taylor wears a pith helmet. So we are two completely different people. But you can catch that show on AWSM Radio, or I've recently just done this for him, anchor.fm/Colt S. Taylor. You can subscribe, and every Monday when he uploads last weekend's episode, you can get to your podcasting service of choice.
Wow.
You listen to Marcely show, then Colt show, and then all your other shows.
Oh, we got more podcasts coming too. We got more.
Oh,
coming.
what? I want to stealing one thunder. So,
because that's right. Our final contestant tonight, it is Hannah. Come on out, Hannah.
Hello.
But the cheat.
That's because Homestar Runner's good at soccer, but I'm not. He's all legs and kicking, running. Did you know that these go for like $600 on eBay, and I'm pretty sure they're that expensive because none of us want to give them up.
All our fans from the year 2004 are going nuts right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They wish Flash didn't go out of style.
Now, Hannah, you've got some awesome stuff to brag about too. Some other podcasts. Tell us about the Kate's Bunker podcast, and tell us about more wrestling with the Brooklyn Battle Comedy podcast.
Hell yeah. Kate's Bunker is a 100% scripted fake podcast. Just like the wrestling's fake, the podcast is also a work. It's a fictional story akin to Welcome to Night Vale. I play Kate, who is a conspiracy theorist who lives underground and is podcasting conspiracy theories out of a bunker. But she's also going through a messy divorce with her ex-wife, Maya, played by the great Chanel Ali, and also has to deal with a mysterious Dominican building super who keeps breaking into the bunker and fixing things and leaving, and she doesn't know how he's getting in or out because the building's completely sealed. And then we have great guests like Toe Hogan, who's not based on a famous podcast host. I don't. And, lots of other people. So we interview aliens, people. I talk about how JFK was killed by a tree in the pilot. All kinds of manner. And our tagline is "The truth is down here," and it is. There's that, and then Brooklyn Battle Comedy, We Make Movies, is a series on IWTV, Independent Wrestling Television. It is a excellent streaming service with a lot of really cool content, a lot of cool, like, high quality indie wrestling from around the country. Definitely get a subscription. It's a mockumentary that me and my wrestling buddies made over the summer, and about creating the greatest pandemic cinematic wrestling match of all time, or at least in the last 6 months during COVID. And it stars MV Young, World Star's own MV Young, and also CPA, who back then his ring name was Nick Stapp before he began wrestling as an accountant again. Definitely look us up. We're at Battle Comedy on various social media platforms and on IWTV. Second episode dropping tonight at 11:45.
So a little behind the scenes business. Before the show, Mike asked us to try to speed up the introductions because he thought they took a little bit of time. And poor Hannah trying desperately to comply with that request, but also having the most things to plug of any guest ever.
I just want to know, was the tree in the book depository?
No, this was done via ancient Native American tree magic. It's a long thing. It's about it's a long thing dealing with the national forest and how there was like subsets of trees that were not the the Native American tree spirits don't have their concerns held important by the state or the federal level, not even by like the southern Native American states who you think would be on the trees side, but eventually they took action against the government. And you'll hear about it on the podcast. But that's what Kate believes. But Kate, but like she says, why is there a tree in every single picture of the JFK assassination? Explain that.
I mean, to me, that makes more sense than any argument not to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Right.
Honestly, going on the internet to listen to fake conspiracy theories sounds so much better than going on the internet and hearing people's real conspiracy theories.
Sure, especially the podcast is also primarily a soap opera too. The whole gag is that like most podcasts aren't really about their topic. They just bring up interpersonal drama to get listens. So I just constantly have stuff going on with my ex-wife, and Toe Hogan starts something like a feud with a baseball podcaster for content for no reason, and his fans are constantly doxing this like nice Midwestern dude named Hank Thompson, who just like really he's like widowed and just, like doesn't understand why Toe Hogan fans are attacking him.
Toe Hogan
Life.
All right, so if you're a fan of Toe Hogan, tune in to Kate's Bunker.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's start off round one. This is Jack Be Quick. We end crowders are currently in a Zoom room and have access to its chat function. I will be asking 7 questions as Vegas the Incorruptible monitors the chat room. The first one of our contestants to type a capital N for N crowd into the chat room after a question is asked will be allowed to give an answer.
But if I feel that they typed their N before Mike finished reading the question, then they lose the ability to answer. And if you type a lowercase n instead of a capital N, you will lose 2 points for disrespecting the N crowd.
Caps lock on.
And no, you can't use caps lock. You have to use your shift key. I've got a webcam in each of your rooms.
And the questions in this round are all worth 3 points unless I say otherwise. Question number 1. The N crowd is based in Philadelphia, and we are talking about soccer. So what is the name of Philly's Major League Soccer team?
DJ.
I believe it's the Philadelphia Union.
That is correct. The 2020 champs.
Oh, did they win?
Wow.
That's great. Great.
Good for
That's
them.
awesome.
Love
Yeah.
that for them.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Union.
Good for you, John Bon Jovi.
Like, did they march down Broad Street or something?
I don't know, because it was like...
Oh, we didn't riot for that? Why did Philly riot for that?
I don't think anybody
Come on,
ate
that's disrespectful.
horseshit.
It's an internationally recognized sport. We should have had...
Well, I think in all fairness, most riots take place during or after a soccer game.
Yeah, but they should have had an after one. It's tradition.
All rioted out.
What happened to the city after I left? God.
Well, it also happened in like a weird, in weird COVID times. So which kind of sucks. Like I know my college football team not that I played college football, but my college's team didn't win a game for 5 seasons. And then the game that they won was when everybody was on fall break. And it was like, we would have partied our asses off. So I feel like this was the Union's fall break.
Well, shout out to my buddy Dennis DeLeo, the only guy I know who watches and goes to Union games, and I'm sure was pretty pumped.
Get it, Dennis. You're doing the dance.
All right, from soccer, we make the natural segue to geography. Ooh. Mount Everest is in which mountain range?
BJ again.
That'd be the Himalayan mountains.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Is there more?
Yes, Kami Rita, a Nepali Sherpa, holds the record for most successful ascents. On May 7th of this year, he summited Everest for the 25th time, just because it's there.
Wow.
Wow.
Dude,
Nah, it's because rich people pay him to.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
All right.
That place is a dump.
Yeah. Here's since you mentioned rich people, here's a rich person. What was Michael Jackson's middle name?
Oh, I don't.
BJ again.
Tiberius.
No, he is not
Not Michael
captain of the
Tiberius Jackson?
not captain of the Enterprise.
God damn it! I was
Marcely.
sure about that.
Janet.
Ooh, good guess, but no. Hannah.
Danger.
Ooh,
That's a good
to
one.
his friends perhaps, but to God and the government, it was Joseph.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I actually knew that. I knew that because that's his daddy.
His
Mhm.
dad's name, yeah.
Well, those were 3 quality quips.
Yeah,
Each of our contestants had a good quip.
agreed.
All right, question number 4. We're steaming right along here. And USA, USA. How many times has the U.S. women's team won the World Cup? And 7 bonus points if you can name one of the years in which they won.
EJ.
They won, I believe, 4 times, and their last win, because there was a big stink, was in 2019 because of the whole women and Trump doesn't like women thing.
Wow, BJ, you get 10 points for that answer.
Big time.
Because they won 4 times in 1991, 1999, 2015, and 2019, making them the most successful team in Women's World Cup history, having earned 4 first-place finishes, 1 second place, and 3 third place. USA! USA!
They're so much better than the men.
Yeah, they get paid less, though.
Yep. Yeah.
I will never forget watching the one where they won against Japan, and I was in this big like open air area with this giant screen in the piazza in Northern Liberties.
Oh, yeah.
And oh my God, the one player made a shot from like nearly midfield and like scored the goal, and just the place went crazy. It was one of my favorite moments ever at the piazza.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
Does that place still exist?
It's there, but it's like there's a huge pool in the middle of it, so people can't walk around freely. Like all the fun places that I used to party are all gone, and like they replaced them with like more chill places for the residents who live there. So it sucks.
Plus, I believe there's like no free parking there anymore, is there?
Yeah, the free parking's gone.
So, I mean, what's the point?
Oh man. Well, let's not let us hinder us from question 5, because question 5 is which 2 countries share the longest international border?
BJ again.
Of course, BJ's gonna know this one.
I'm going to say I believe it's USA and Canada.
It is Canada and USA. USA.
USA. Everyone hates me.
Hate how quick you are with the buzzer. Ken Jennings over here.
BJ knows geography.
I do.
That's true too.
How do you spell Canada? He goes CANADA. That's not my joke, but it's the best Canada joke I got.
It's funny. It's spell.
Quality comedy.
I get it.
Then it was a good joke, and I'm glad I said it. All right, question number 6. Which planet in our solar system has the strongest gravitational pull?
Marcely.
Ah!
Uranus.
That's not the answer, though. BJ, you were second.
I believe it's the planet Jupiter.
Yeah, it's Jupiter. It's the biggest, so it has the most gravity.
You know, I actually knew that answer, but I decided to go with the immature comment.
Good job, Marcely.
Anything worth doing is worth doing right.
You're welcome
you.
back on the Inquisition.
And Marcely, just for future reference, if you want to answer Uranus and then give a real answer, that's fine. That's fine.
Look, I'm a martyr, okay? I'm willing to take one for the team and for the
Marcely the martyr.
I'm only on this
I don't have
station
caps
to-
lock on my keyboard, so this is just not going to work for me.
Oh my goodness.
I actually have to hit shift.
Every time she has to look for both buttons.
Yeah, it's cool. I knew some of these. I knew the mountains one.
Well, get your finger on shift and end, because here comes question number 7, last question of the round. And it is, which country won the first FIFA World Cup on this date in 1930?
BJ.
Well, according to Mike Connor at the beginning of the show, it was Uruguay.
Hey, he was listening to the beginning.
BJ's a good student.
I used to be a teacher.
Yeah. Good listening skills.
Oh, yeah.
Well, after that game, let's check in with our scorekeeper, Vegas the Incorruptible, to see how these comedians are doing. Let's hear it.
Well, Hannah got 0 points and Marcely got 0 points.
Yeah.
BJ got 25 points. But guess what? The rest of our rounds all award lots of points. So whatever, BJ. Maybe
I was invited to be here.
All right, well, this is where that pen and paper might come in handy, because this is round 2, Deep Thought. These N Crowders have all made their own answer cards. They're going to be recording their answers on their cards, and we'll be checking what they've written later on in the show. So here is our first question. You guys know I like to start this round off with math. I used to be a math teacher. It's important.
All right.
So I'm going to say it has been estimated that footballers run an average of 7 miles during a match. Tell us how many feet that is and earn 7 points. Now, for no other reason except to give them a little time while they're calculating, Vegas and I are going to bring you a very important message about Argentinian superstar Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi is really good at football, which Americans call soccer, which Native Americans call maize.
Most importantly, Lionel Messi is from Argentina.
Thank you for listening to these facts about Argentinian footballer Lionel Messi.
All right, I'm sure that won't have any significance at all at any point in this show. It was just something that we wanted to give you guys a little time to do some kajiggering.
Can you repeat that first question one more time?
Yes, I can. It was that it has been estimated that footballers or soccer players run an average of 7 miles during a match. So we want to know how many feet that is, and you will earn 7 points.
Okay.
All right.
That question's in the chat too, so you can keep working on it during the Inquisition.
All right. Question number 2.
Is Hannah still with us or just frozen?
Uh-oh.
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 Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Vegas, tell us more about that soccer player.
That soccer player is from
Lionel
Argentina.
Where is Argentina?
Argentina is in South America to the right of Chile. And to the
Yeah, no, I was fucking.
Wait a minute. BJ's frozen too.
what is happening?
Oh, no, he's not.
I'm not frozen.
That's good.
Why do I hear Vegas's like poltergeist voice?
I don't know. Well, Hannah says she can see us, so
Right.
I'll just put the next question in the chat where she can see it.
All right. This one is the record for the fastest red card in a football match goes to Lee Todd, who got sent off after only 2 seconds of play. What did he do to earn the ejection? The correct answer will earn you 10 points. The answer that Vegas the Incorruptible finds the most amusing will earn
Extreme
5.
right.
Was that something about Easter Island?
Hannah, you might want to disconnect from the Zoom call and rejoin.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to log off and come back on. Hey, you know,
I think
while
we
we're
were
waiting for
hearing
Hannah-
her talking from like 30 seconds ago.
While we're waiting for Hannah, Vegas, is there some way people watching this show could support the N Crowd and the Inquisition some way? I don't know how. I would want to.
Just watching us is support enough. But you want to support more? Okay, I'm going to write tip jar in the Twitch chat room, and the link is going to come up for phillynCrowd.live/tip, where you can give us some money. And why did I say that out loud? Because if you're not in the Twitch chat, if you're in something else, then just type those words into your browser machine, phillynCrowd.live/tip. And you can give us money. And you know what we'll do with it? We'll pay for this software we use to stream online. Pay for our city live entertainment insurance that we haven't been using for the past year.
I gotta renew that.
Yeah. I could see and hear you guys that entire time. So I was frozen or
Mm-hmm.
okay. No, I could totally, I got that question and everything.
Yeah, you were a still image and a mostly silent one.
Wow. Yeah, no, that wasn't me at all.
We're glad you're back.
I'm glad to be back.
All right, so you did get question number 2 then about the guy.
Yeah, it was the red card question. I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Okay. All right, then question number 3 here. Oh, and also, if you do have the correct answer to question 2, but you also have a funny answer, you can get the 10 points for being correct and the 5 points for being most amusing. So feel
Copy.
free to put them both. Question number 3. We're going to give you 5 famed footballers and a list of countries. You can earn 3 points for each of these famed footballers you can match to their home country. However, because I'm a dick, I'm going to throw in an extra country which none of these people are from. Also, because I'm a dick, we just told you where one of these players is from. Hope you were listening and not distracted by something dumb like math. If you don't correctly match that player to their home country, you will earn -3 points.
Oh shit.
So basically, you got to match up the players to their home countries, and if you don't get the one player's home country that we were talking about, we will take away 3 points. Vegas, how would you like to do the honors of reading off those players?
Oh, well, we got Sam Kerr, Lionel Messi, Alex Morgan, Pele, Cristiano Ronaldo.
All right, and let's give them the countries.
Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Portugal, Spain, the United States.
All right, so remember, one of the countries nobody's from. One of
Okay.
them is a red herring. So you've got 6 countries and 5 footballers. I just watched a really good documentary about Pele. And yeah, I'd always known he was like the Pele of soccer, you know, but I didn't really know much about him. He was a really interesting guy.
Yeah. My dad was like a huge Pele fan. And my dad used to play soccer in Haiti and stuff. And so like Pele was like larger than life when he was growing up. So I guess that he was like the Pele of soccer, like you said.
I've literally never heard of him. I don't know anything about any of this.
Hey, I mean, you can certainly look at their names and think what countries those names sound like. No, it's mostly South America, so I don't know how useful that is.
Yeah.
We got 2 European countries there too, you know.
Yeah, sure. Australia is part of Europe.
No, but Spain and Portugal are.
Portugal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's right next to
Yeah.
Spain.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? Because they speak Portuguese in Brazil, but that's for
Yeah.
different reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horrible reasons. Beautiful language, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on to those answer cards. We will be checking them later on in the show. But right now, let's go to round 3, the mystery.
Mystery round. A mystery round. What?
This round is different every episode, so the contestants will never know what they have to deal with. And this week, the mystery round is called the soccer pitch. A soccer field is called a pitch, and these contestants will be pitching various items to Vegas the Incorruptible. We will need some adjectives, descriptive words from the Twitch chat room. So if you're watching us on Twitch right now, start typing in some adjectives into the chat room. We're going to be using them for this game because the contestants are going to have 10 seconds to grab an item near them and pitch it to Vegas that their item is the most whatever adjective we use. So Vegas, you want to give them an example here?
Yeah, so if the chat says blue, then you should go find the bluest item you can find in 10 seconds. And each player will then have to convince me that their item epitomizes blueness. And our first adjective from the chat room is fun.
Fun. All right. The funnest item. Go grab the funnest item. And I actually left my phone over at my sister's house. So here's our countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. All right, let's see what everybody has. We're going to start off with contestant number 1. That's Marcely. What did you grab as the funnest item?
All right. So I have a 10-month-old daughter and got her one of these things.
I thought you were grabbing your 10-month-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she was awake right now, she would be on the screen.
Just committed. They're woken up.
But my plan B is this little baby tricycle. And I don't know if any of you've seen her. If I had enough time to show you a video of her actually riding this thing, I don't think that there would be any question that this is the funnest thing that is potentially on this show. But yeah, go ahead, beat that.
All right, contestant number 2, that's you, Beej.
Vegas, listen, you're an artsy guy. You like to support the arts. Why not flip through this Philadelphia Fringe Festival guide. It's got all the shows you missed from 2008. You can say to yourself, boy, how much money did they spend putting on this production, and how much money did they lose because of the way that's really set up there? But boy, if you went, there's so many shows in here that have so much fun. It makes you think, you know what? With the pandemic ending, it's time for me to have fun and support the arts again. Maybe not this one, but find a local community arts festival to say, hey, I appreciate what you do. Here's $2 because that's how much I appreciate art.
All right.
Mr. and the Others from 2008. That was such a good show.
So Vegas, why don't you distribute 7 points per round so you can give out the point? Oh, sorry, we didn't see Hannah's yet. So yeah. Hannah, go ahead and show us yours.
Okay, so my fun item is a broken Krang action figure with the brain. This is I've been having fun with this since I stole
7
it.
points to Hannah.
I was 12, and then all through college I kept weed in the stomach. But that was before the door broke. It was no longer a good stash. But yeah, it's it's fun as hell. There's one of the mirror action figures is those little ones that shot the pizzas out of their stomach.
Yeah.
You remember those guys? You remember the ones that like had spy outfits and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Krang.
Oh, well, 7 points to Krang's body without Krang's head, and you put pot where Krang's head would go.
Yeah.
Marcely, I was really digging your daughter's tricycle before that came out.
No, it's okay. I won't take it personally.
There's a lot of weird shit in here. This is my time.
This is definitely Hannah's round.
What do you think? Do we have another adjective then, Vegas?
Our next adjective is mysterious.
Mysterious. 10 seconds, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
This is a generous one. Let's see your most mysterious items.
All right, we're going to start with contestant number 2 first. That's BJ. Let's see what you got. What mysterious item?
Okay. I have from mysteriously 1721 a flintlock dueling pistol that no one seems to know how it came into this family's possession. It's apparently fully functional, but the person I took it to says, "Don't fire this. You're basically holding a pipe bomb."
That sounds like the opposite of fully functional.
Well, it could fire. It could also blow off my arm, so whatnot. But it has been on my mom's side of the family, well, since 1720, so like at least 5, 6, 8 generations, and no one seems to know why we have this.
BJ, did your great grandfather kill Alexander Hamilton?
No.
You get that?
Yeah. My name is Berkeley.
Seems like not a coincidence to me.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat. I mean, the trigger. So if you can see it, here we go. And then you put like black powder here, and like the little flintstone goes there, and then this goes poof, and then poof. So you're basically
how does it go?
Your face full of flame, and then you might hit someone.
All right, that's pretty mysterious. Hannah, what do you got?
I have a stuffed anteater. I think what's mysterious about this is that this is like my security stuffed animal from when I was like, I don't know, like 8. And what's really mysterious is why this? Why was this the thing that made me feel safe? And why did my parents fucking get this? Like, look, and also why did I name it Chester? That's a weird one. Like I was an odd duck. But it's pretty cool, right? I mean, this is like a pretty realistic giant. If you look up giant anteaters on YouTube, their butts look exactly like this. They do. Like, and the tongue is this ribbon it's shot to hell because I can't throw out this anteater. Not like because I follow Marie Kondo rules and it brings me too much joy. So it's just gonna follow me around fucking forever. Yeah. Oh, and also the toy store where I bought this shut down like super suddenly out of nowhere one day, and so this might be haunted. Ooh. That's
Chester's cool.
Chester's pretty great.
Yeah, I'd take some Chester.
I went on a rant on Corey Castle's podcast when I was very drunk about how this teaches me how to be an effective big spoon.
All right, so we have a mysterious pistol, a mysterious anteater. Marcely, what do you got for us that can out mysterious these things?
Well, about 2 weeks ago, I lost my remote control. I looked everywhere for it. I looked in the couch, under the couch, behind the couch. I looked in my bed. I tried to shake down my daughter to see if she stole it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Looked in the trash can, nowhere. But motherfucker, I found it. It just popped up just now, literally materialized out of nowhere. Wow. So you tell me, is that mysterious?
I think that's a lie.
Well, for that round, I'm going to give 3 points to BJ for his cool gun, and 2 points to Hannah for that cool anteater, and 2 points to Marcely for the mystery of the missing remote that he then found.
Just found it.
Haven't
watched TV.
Well, you might need that statue for our last round of these. And our last adjective is going to be floppy.
Floppy.
Floppy. Go get your floppiest thing. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go punk rock. Whoa!
Yeah!
Marcely, I'm holding for you.
He's holding it real good for you.
Oh, I got you back. Okay, there we go. Can you guys see and hear me?
Oh, we sure can.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Just making sure, because I cut out for a second. And you said floppy with an F, right?
Floppy with
Wow.
an F.
Okay, for a second I was like, wait, did he say sloppy? Because that's a different thing.
Yeah, don't nobody show me a shirt covered in manwich stains.
I thought when you said floppy with an F, I thought like no with a PH. All right, well, Hannah, you are first this round. So let's see what floppy thing that you've got.
This is a They Might Be Giants foam finger from their concerts. They sell them. They're great. But this is floppy as shit. It's foam. It would probably be even floppier if you got it wet. I don't know why you would do that, but that would certainly like up the percentage of floppiness. And this is a great band. I've seen them probably more times than most bands. And they're Homestar Runner people too. So yeah, floppy. Woo!
Gotta say, Hannah, I really like the objects in your room.
I'm also about to move, so everything's out. Like, and I'm trying to decide like what I'm leaving.
But that the floppy finger sparks joy.
Yes, it does. Doesn't it spark joy for you?
We'll find out. That is a pretty floppy finger.
It is floppy as shit. Behold.
Marcely, what kind of flop you got?
So here I have a jump drive, which is the evolutionary cousin of the floppy disk. So genetically, I think I have the most floppy thing, unless somebody else has an actual floppy disk.
Genetic.
Just saying.
So you want to have a rabbit? BJ, do you have a rabbit?
I don't have a rabbit.
All right, so we've got a foam finger. We've got the offspring of the floppy disk, and now we've got BJ. What do you got that's floppy?
Well, I don't have. I have a lot of firm, stiff things down here. I don't have a whole lot that's floppy, but
Nobody's bragging.
I do have my Pope hats, which is pretty floppy, and I think we all know that the Pope's a little flippity floppity on some of those Bible things, if you know what I mean. So this is the floppiest thing I have, and I accept all those points. So I bless them.
Well, let's see, Vegas. How are you going to score this?
I'm going to give 4 points to Hannah's cool. They might be giants of floppy finger. Marcely, I got to tell you, I had it pre-written in my head. If anybody had a floppy disk, I was immediately going to give them all 7. But I like your explanation for why it's related to a floppy disk. So I'll give you 2 points for that. And BJ, 1 point for that floppy old Pope hat.
I smite you.
Oh, and these are also the joke with these is that like the actual team, the Giants has orange fingers with giants on them, so that this is actually a parody of somebody else's foam finger. I just remembered that.
Oh.
Does that make it more floppy?
That doesn't change the number of points I'm awarded.
It's based on a flimsy reference, but that's flimsy, not floppy.
All right, well, let's check in Vegas. How are these folks doing? What are their scores looking like?
Well, Pope BJ is maintaining his lead. He's got 29 points. Hannah shot up to 14 points, and Marcely hanging on with 5.
All right.
Well, that brings us to our final round of competition before checking those deep thought answer cards to see which of these end crowders will triumph and which will wither in shame. We know what you've been thinking. What's it like to have sex with the end crowd? Well, we're going to show you in round 4, Sex with Me.
Sex with me, 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 yeah.
To all the folks in our Twitch chat room, we're going to be asking for suggestions of nouns, objects, persons, places, or things. So start typing those now. The contestants are going to turn those suggestions into bawdy jokes. Vegas the Incorruptible will award a point per joke.
And if something really gives me the old guffaws, well, I'll just give that 2 points. But if something isn't so much a joke as it is a collection of words, for that, no points will be awarded.
All right. What's the first word that we have? Do we have any words yet, Vegas?
An old barn.
An old barn.
Sex with me is like sex with an old barn. I usually go down in bad weather.
Especially relevant in Pennsylvania and New Jersey this week.
Yeah.
Sex with me is like an old barn. One time it took 10 dudes to raise it.
Sex with me is like an old barn. You might find crop circles somewhere. I'm
got some funky pubes, man.
Yeah.
Sex with me is like sex with an old barn. There's a legend behind it. Huh?
Sex with me is like an old barn. Sometimes people use it and say Jesus because it's like a nativity play type thing.
Sex with me is like sex with an old barn. There's lots of bats up there.
Sex with me is like an old barn full of like hay. What is that?
Sex with me is like sex with an old barn. I'm gonna deposit my seed there for the winter.
Oh my God.
Is it creepier than wearing a Pope hat?
Yeah, yeah. I like
Sex with
it.
me is like sex in an old barn. Cats keep wandering in and out.
Mike, you got one before we take our next suggestion?
Oh man, I got two because the first one is sex with me is like an old barn. Still smells like manure. And also, sex with me is like an old barn because that wood is rotten.
Excellent. Our next suggestion is disco ball.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball, always inside a fire hall for some reason.
Sex is me is like a disco ball. You wish it would be installed in the ceiling, but people usually just do it in the corner. Leave it in the corner.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. I don't need to have one in my bedroom. I'm
Sex
struggling
me-
here.
Sex with me is like
It's like a
Go ahead.
Yeah, step on him.
sex with
He
me is
deserves it.
a disco ball with CG's playing at the same time.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. If I hit it just right, it gets all over the walls, the ceilings, the floor. It's just everywhere. Everywhere.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. You'll find it in Studio 54.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. You look into it, and then hundreds of versions of yourself look back.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. You'll probably find a bunch of cocaine around it.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. Also in every skating rink.
That was mine.
Yes.
Damn it.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball on the cover of an LCD sound system album.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. Might be hanging from your ceiling.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. My parents talk about it as like some big thing, but you know, I've seen a lot of it online.
You watch a lot of disco balls online, BJ?
I watch a lot of myself having sex online.
There you go.
I have an OnlyFans page. It is tasteful, but graphic.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. I think you could buy it at Party City.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. Sometimes it's fun to just put a wig on it and give it a new name.
Sex with me is like sex with a disco ball. Not the biggest one you'll see, but it will fill a room.
Sex with me is like a disco ball. The last time I saw it was at the N Crowd's 14th anniversary show at the Ruba Hall in Philadelphia.
Well, sex with me is like a disco ball because that ball is tacky. But like two different versions, like definitions
yeah.
of tacky. Yeah, like see, it was better when I explained it. Vegas, what's our last word?
Space Jam 2.
Oh man, tacky.
Sex with me is like Space Jam 2. Bunch of really bad CGI.
Sex with me is like sex with Space Jam 2. Not necessary, but you just go through the motions and you're done about an hour and a half.
Sex with me. Sex with Me is like Space Jam 2. Pepe Le Pew wasn't invited.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. For some reason, Don Cheadle was there.
All right.
Sex with Me is like Space Jam 2. It's around, but I haven't gotten to it, even though it's been a couple of months. Sex with Me is like Space Jam 2, where the cast is kind of crowded and convoluted, and there's no real rhyme or reason to who participates.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. It's just an excuse to plug the other things I'm working on throughout the session. Just hinting upon it, so you're curious about, you ask about it later. Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. It's mostly voice work.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. Usually I feel like a cartoon, but the other person feels real.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. It's starring a king.
Oh, shit.
You just garnered a guffaw.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. It doesn't make sense why everyone's there, but all right, I guess everyone's here.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. There's a hell of a lot of furry animals involved.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. It's not a masterpiece, but we're just having a good time.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. You will not want a third appearance of this.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. You're kind of sad Jock Jams isn't playing as much.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. Way too many 30-year-olds have an opinion on it.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. I've lost some boob weight since it's come out.
Sex with Me is like Sex with Space Jam 2. I forget. Abandon the joke. It was like a.
All right, I'm gonna close this one up then, Mike.
All right, Sex with Me is like Space Jam 2, a soulless cash grab.
And Sex with Me is like Space Jam 2, just another arena where LeBron James is treading over Michael Jordan's legacy.
Well, Vegas, that was Sex with Me. Let's check out the scores, man.
Well, that round of Sex with Me was like Sex with Me, a tight race. BJ earned 15 points. Hannah, who is not in the in crowd and doesn't play this game every week, earned 16 points. Ooh. And Marcely, you got 13, bringing our totals up to 44 for BJ, 30 for Hannah, and 18 for Marcely. And I think it's time for us to check those answers.
Yeah, let's check those answers.
Let's check those answers.
All writing utensils must be out of the contestants' hands, so folks in the chat room, help us out. These answers should be finalized by now. So if you see any of these rascals scribbling something, then name and shame. All right. We're going to go back through our 3 questions here. And the first one, we said it has been estimated that footballers run an average of 7 miles during a match. Tell us how many feet that is and earn 7 points. And I can tell you there are 5,280 feet in a mile. So Marcely, let's see what you got.
My answer was it depends on how many players get subbed into the game. But you just multiply that times 2 because each person has 2 feet. So whatever the amount of players times 2, because each of them has 2 feet.
See, okay. We're not going to say whether it's right or not. It sounds like solid logic, though. BJ?
Well, I mean, you are a bastard when it comes to these questions, like the worst person there is. So it's either 36,960 feet, which is how many 7 miles are in feet, or it's 44 feet between the two teams of 11 people who are on the football pitch, as it were. So that would be my answer.
Wow, you really took Marcely's joke answer and added more data to it.
I did. So
I
don't.
love-
Do you need me to settle in on one, or can I give that as an answer?
That's your answer. That's fine.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
really tickled at how much of a dick you think I am.
Just with math questions. Just with your fucking math questions.
All right, Hannah.
We got 36,960. That sweet 69 right in the middle. Nice.
That is nice. And nice job by
Nice.
Hannah and BJ remembering how many feet are in a mile and also knowing how to multiply by 7 because you both got 36,960 feet, which was the answer we were looking for.
I actually had that down. I definitely thought it was a trick question.
Marcely, what the fuck?
It's right here. It's right there.
All right, you're all getting 7 points.
I really thought that it was a trick question. I was like, there's no way that it's actual math.
That's why I asked you to repeat the question, because you like paused. You're like, how many feet are on the soccer field?
Yeah, I definitely was like, I thought that it was legitimately a trick question.
You guys are too kind. I love that I've asked so many trick questions that now a straightforward question is a trick question.
Yeah, basically.
All right. Well, we said that the record for the fastest red card in a football match goes to Lee Todd, who got sent off after only 2 seconds of play. So what did he do to earn that ejection? The correct answer gets 10 points. The answer Vegas the Incorruptible finds the most amusing gets 5 points. We're going to go to BJ first for this one.
My joke answer is he took a dump on the golden snitch. But I believe soccer and Quidditch are exactly the same. But since he got kicked off in 2 seconds, I mean, you can't get in a fight within 2 seconds. So I imagine he probably swore really loudly, because I don't think you can swear during a soccer game. But they're very about decor on there. So he probably said something he wasn't supposed to say.
All
All right.
Hannah?
I'm serious answer, the same profanity. Other answer, insider trading.
All right, Marcely, what do you think?
I said that he gave the ref a fake red card, and the ref didn't think it was funny, so he gave him a real.
He just had one on his pocket for.
Yeah, he thought it was funny. Thought it would be clever.
Well, I'm gonna give 5
Is
points.
this your card?
It was a magic trick.
I'm gonna give 5 points to Marcely and 10 points each to BJ and Hannah, who had the actual correct answer in swearing.
It was profanity, but that's corny.
So, like,
I don't think anything else can happen in 2 seconds other than like his dick coming out. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
so like they met at the center of the pitch before the match, and the referee just like kind of went over some ground rules, you know. And one of them, the things he said is like, watch the foul language. And then literally right after that, they all went out to start the game. He blew his whistle to signal the start of the game, and the guy standing right next to him, the player standing right next to him, goes, "Fuck me, that was loud."
Oh, that's ridiculous.
He immediately
Speaking
blew the whistle.
That's a
Speaking of
yellow card at best.
Yellow card versus red card. I did this story a few weeks ago. In Poland, a skydiver landed during a soccer game. He missed his field, got a yellow card. Didn't get a red card. The referee gave him a yellow card and sent him off the field.
Wow. Well, and then meanwhile saying "fuck me," that was loud.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
worse than landing during a game.
No cursing. This is football,
Yeah.
not football.
All right, now question number 3. We gave you 5 famed footballers and a list of countries. We wanted to match the footballers up to their home countries. But we also threw in an extra country where none of the players were from. And also, we had said to you while you were calculating math, we had said one of the answers to this. So if you don't get that player, you lose 3 points.
Ooh.
But all the other ones, you get 3 points for matching. So, Hannah, let's go to you first. What do you got?
Randomly selected, we have Sam Curry to Australia, Lionel going to Portugal, Alex is in the US, Christian Argentina, and Pele to Spain. We just threw it all down.
All
Okay.
right.
Got it.
Let's go to Marcely.
The only one I didn't know was Sam Kerr, but like it was down to like Australia and Spain. Kerr is not a Spanish name. So I got Argentina's Messi, Australia Sam Kerr, Brazil Pele, Portugal Ronaldo, and the United States is Alex Morgan.
All right, and BJ.
This is probably one of the hardest ones you've done because I do not know who most of these people are for the most part. But I know Pele is from Brazil. You said Lionel Messi was in Argentina. Alex Morgan sounds like someone who's on the USA team currently. Sam Kerr ain't Portuguese or Spanish, so I'm going to go with Australia for Sam Kerr. And Cristiano Ronaldo, I guess Portugal for that person because Portugal and Spain have virtually the same last sounding names, so I took a guess.
Very well. Well, after my careful analysis, Hannah, sorry, you got the Lionel Messi one wrong because he is from Argentina. So you got the -3 for that one. The other answers were Sam Kerr is from Australia. Cristiano Ronaldo's from Portugal, Alex Morgan is from the US, and Pele is from Brazil. So Hannah, you got 3 points, and Marcely and BJ, yeah, you got 2 right, and you got the trap one wrong. So you got 3 points, Marcely and BJ.
I didn't think I was gonna get any points.
Well, there you go. It's kind of a positive. Marcely and BJ got them all right. Marcely for knowing them and BJ for guessing them.
Process of elimination with a little guessing at the end.
Getting 15 points each.
All right. Well, then after all that, we have the final scores. So let's go one last time to our scorekeeper, Vegas, the incorruptible.
Ooh, that's me. So after all that, we have, oh no, it didn't work the way I wanted it to. Hold on, I have to do very simple math in my head, a thing that I could do 10 years ago, but now I can't do anymore for some reason. All right, I did it. After that round, Hannah, you scored 47 points.
Wow.
Marcely, you scored 48 points.
Really? I thought it was in the 30s.
Ooh, I might have done that very simple math wrong. I'm not sure.
Yeah, thanks.
It's irrelevant because behold, the winner of the Inquisition.
BJ.
Is the thing done? Did we do the thing?
Oh.
It's Pope BJ
I was like,
with
I didn't understand what was going on.
76 points. Well, there's a little screen and thing that plays, but I 76 points, BJ, you won!
Yay.
All right. Well, congratulations to BJ. I also want to say thank you to Karen, the N Crowd's artistic director, for running tech for us tonight. You can watch her make the art live at twitch.tv/Karma Art Studio. You can catch the N Crowd back here next Friday at 8 p.m. with a brand new improvised show. We'd like to leave you now with the words of renowned Scottish footballer and team manager Bill Shankly, who said, "Some people think football is a matter of life and death. I can assure you it is much, much more important than that." Good night, folks.
Wow, that guy went hard.
Drunk by now, drunk by now, I hope to be drunk by now. I'd fly kite late at night under the mystery of wondrous flight. Then we'd screw in the dew on the grass in the nude. Well, drunk by now, drunk by now, I hope to be drunk by now, drunk by now, drunk by now, I hope to be drunk by now. Every penny for my pocket, Lord,